Well.
Mike didn't have his headphones on. He was so busy in Facebook, he didn't start the live until after the new intro. So it won't show up
anymore.
Yeah, until next week, which is the 5th anniversary show.
Yeah.
11th anniversary show.
Yes. That was good.
So today is the final show of our 10th year.
Of our 10th year, absolutely. It's been a great ride.
Yeah, it has been. And sometimes flight.
And flight.
Some flights involved.
There. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the Sip and Chew Show. You just heard our new intro.
For the first time.
And those listening on the radio
will be happy to hear something different.
Yeah. So, we heard you. We weren't ignoring you. We heard you.
Sean, we heard you, Sean.
Yeah, but wow, that's great. Good job, Steve.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Whoever else, anybody, just you?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Stu wrote it out. I put it together.
All right, I must have been too busy.
Yeah, as usual.
You're busy. I got a lot going on.
Yeah,
all the time. But
it's what I do.
Hey, you can catch us live on the stream thing.
Facebook.
Yeah.
And YouTube. That's what those are called.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's our new intro. How about that? That's pretty cool.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
And like I said, you could go listen to it on our Facebook page, but Mike was so mesmerized.
I forgot to hit the start button.
You won't be able to hear it till
yeah.
It's got the podcast after.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, you can get that on the fmtalk1065.com.
That's correct.
Wow.
Just click on podcast.
We're fancy like that, aren't we?
Yeah.
Cool. So anyway, welcome to the show, folks. I hope you enjoyed that new intro there. So
Mike's just all beside him.
I don't know what to say.
But we still kept one Spodioti. That was the Jerry Lee Lewis version of White.
Yeah.
There's quite a few covers of it out there.
Oh yeah.
But when I heard that one, I was like, oh, we should have been using that since the beginning.
Yeah.
You heard that piano lick at the very beginning. Man, as soon as I heard that, I was like, how have we not been using this?
But anyway, well, here we are. About to start and start a new
decade.
Yeah.
New decade on the air.
Yeah. If a lot of you don't remember, our first guest was Armando from Los Rancheros, Aztecas,
Hacienda San Miguel,
and they've opened up so many more restaurants since that interview.
No kidding. Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. So, and it happened to be on a Sunday. Cinco de Mayo happened to be on a Sunday.
Yep. So it was the perfect guest. And one of the few guests that Mike booked, usually that's my thing. He's got some of the wine people and stuff, but that, his job was other stuff. Mine was line up guests.
I kind of.
And here we are, 11 years later. Mike's lined up his second guest for the show, and will be with us later in the show. You want to make the announcement, buddy?
Yeah, we're going to have Reese Dimukes. A lot of you Auburn fans would know him from his era at Auburn.
Yeah, he was the center for Nick Marshall.
Yeah.
So he was the center that blocked for the greatest single game rushing performance in SEC history when Trey Mason went for 300 yards in the SEC championship. 300 yards in a game.
Yeah.
Right? No over touchdown.
Yeah, regulation. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Reese will be joining. He's got an event coming up. It's going to be next Saturday on 4th at the Battleship. It's a big barbecue cook-off, and it goes to two worthy causes. And I plan on being there because I've got my Gulf Coast Barbecue Trail Facebook page, and we're going to be. And I enjoy people. I invite people to hit the like button on it and get on as a member of the group and
share your pictures.
Share your thoughts of any barbecue along the Gulf Coast. We're trying to keep it, on the Gulf Coast, and I consider Loosedale on the Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
And Babe and that.
Well, I guess we could go any county that touches the coastline.
Yeah.
We do that, but Loosedale's George County.
Loosedale's there's a good barbecue up
in the
Loosedale area.
But I don't have a problem including the counties above it. I mean,
I don't either. It's still on
Washington, yes, right. Washington County's got some good barbecue. Let's hear about it.
Yeah. I've got me a list of where
Clark County, I don't know about y'all. Y'all a little wacky.
You can only do so much in this area. I want to be able to at least get over to Port St. Joe.
Yeah.
and over to those places in Louisiana
Yeah.
that I want to get to.
I would like to try some Louisiana barbecue because they're really not known for it. And the most famous barbecue dish in Louisiana is barbecue shrimp, which is not barbecued at all. It's either sauteed or baked in the oven, shrimp with Worcestershire sauce and some brown sugar. It's delicious.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, barbecue shrimp is good. But it's not really barbecue. There's no flame. There's no barbecue sauce. And that's New Orleans barbecue dish.
Yeah.
So, and why would you not still include that? They call it barbecue, right?
It's barbecue.
So that would be grilled shrimp, would it? If it's barbecue.
Yeah, it is sauteed or baked. Yeah. So yeah, but they call it that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love skewering shrimp and putting it on the grill.
Yeah.
You know. But,
And you should explain a little in your group there about the mix-up people get with the term grilling.
Yeah.
Which does not mean to put it on a charcoal grill. Grilling is anytime what you're cooking is in direct contact with a dry, high heat source.
Yeah.
So when you throw that hamburger patty into your iron skillet, you're grilling it. That is grilling. Grilling as opposed to roasting, where you have a dry, indirect heat.
Yeah.
But in the oven, the air circulates around it,
Right.
still dry. And then you've got boiling, which we all understand is submerged in boiling water. So it's submerged technically by a wet heat source.
Yeah.
Braising combines roasting and boiling.
I want to bring this subject up one day and we'll talk about it. Maybe we can do it after the next, because we're coming up to what they call Memorial Day weekend. It's like the
grilling
kickoff
season for
to
Yankees.
barbecue.
Yeah.
But
we've been having charcoal smoking in the yard
right.
since January.
I just my jaw just drops when people say they boil their ribs.
That's a Yankee thing, man.
And then
because they want their ribs done in 30 minutes.
No,
my friend married a woman from Chicago, and she said that's how everyone makes ribs. You boil them till they're tender, then you put them on a gas grill to get some grill marks on them. And I'm like, that is horrible. And the first time I brought my big charbroiler over, and they slept in, and for 3 hours I was out there, they had a pretty gutted fish. And I had 3 slabs of ribs on the grill for 3 hours. And she took a bite out and went, wow. Yeah, that's
to me, that's like a bottle and a half of wine. I like grilling, barbecuing by my beverage. That's how I time it.
Well, we're getting into the breaking it down to the different cooking styles.
Yeah.
Smoking is not grilling. It is a low heat.
I love to smoke.
It is a low and slow process, and which breaks down the muscle fibers and allows meat that is generally very tough, like brisket, to get extremely tender.
Yeah.
And if you can get those toughest cuts tender, they have more flavor than the tender cuts. Brisket's got more flavor than ribeye.
I've done some beautiful job with brisket in my smoker at home.
Yeah. But it's a different time allotment, and usually I think a different temperature than pork. And with pork being king in Alabama, not a lot of people have tried to do brisket. They weren't only going to do it if they could throw it on with the pork.
More restaurants are doing it. Barbecue places,
because when you get it
right, it's unbelievable. It is, and there's some places in the Mobile, Baldwin County area that do a really good job with brisket.
Right,
and I got to where that's almost the only thing I eat when I go to a barbecue place.
It is leaner than the pork ribs and the pulled pork. It's healthier for you, not a whole lot.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
caramelized.
But I'll tell you,
burnt in pork.
We'll talk about it in the second. 251-343-0106. What is that?
It's Irish Social Club. Text in line.
Sure, that works.
Do you like following your favorite high school sports
teams?
Did
you get 2 song recommendations?
You want to know more about the
I have not.
County and city leaders?
We need to pick 2 more songs as we're changing up the going in and out.
I just listened to so 2 show together.
I don't know if you chose the Weird Al yet, but
what all
old school goes My Baloney.
I was looking at even
more,
but I didn't get
Yeah, listen to many grocery and convenience stores in South Alabama, including Walmart, Rouse's, and
Don't bother me.
and if your favorite store doesn't have it, let us know, and we'll make it available. If you want the call news delivered to your home, we can do that too for less than $1 per week. Call us today, 251-866-5998. That's 251-866-5998. Or visit us online, thecallnews.com, and get connected to the call news.
I think it has
Sure,
some
you can pay $99 for a window.
Well, we're going to have voiceover going
Consider
over
that
it.
a
Yeah.
It's only going to select like 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's true.
Window tinting and mobile
Explain.
over
You know, I was
professionally
thinking about
installed
yesterday, I was thinking
quality
about the
product
time
at
we
Maxim
looked
with a
at
no-fault lifetime
like,
guarantee. Choose quality and save money in the long run. Make an appointment
No, we weren't allowed to call it.
Well, they start playing.
Learn the hard way. Make it easy on
Because
yourself.
it's
For quality,
crazy.
set an appointment with ProTech. 802-1234.
For 2 decades, the Love Lady Center has been a beacon of hope
That's
for
good
women
that way.
facing addiction, incarceration, abuse, and
Do what?
homelessness. As
We
America's
came here
largest
recorded
progress-centered
how
recovery
you do it.
facility,
But
Love
we
Lady is
had,
on a mission to
there
help
was a
women rebuild their
Bobo
lives
took
through
off at
comprehensive care, job training, counseling, and
Oh,
minds heal and spirits soar at Love Lady. Visit loveladycenter.org to
Oh,
learn
yeah.
Love Lady Center.
I got
Sponsored by
here.
the Love Lady
I
Center, the
got here.
ABA, and this station.
David Calametti
You
told me the
owe
wrong
over
guy.
$10,000 in back taxes. You've called every tax firm out there. They
I
all
know,
say
but
the
you get
same
it.
thing, making
That's
promises
what, you
they
know.
never keep, and you're sick of it. What you really need is a
Ugh.
new start on
How
your
many of
back
these
taxes.
should
If
I
you're
put
faced
up?
with garnishments,
You think?
levies, audits, or years of
When you don't
unfiled
hear-
tax
when you
returns,
don't
we'll
hear,
fight to get you the new start
those
you deserve.
bouncing off
Call
the wall, make a little portable this thing.
1-800-266-1432. Our New Start program
Set
will
in there,
stop
set it
You know
up.
what a lot of people do
remove any liens
is they
the
take
IRS
it
has in
off
place and help you
and
reduce
bill
your
us
back
out.
taxes by as much as
I got
80%.
clothes.
That's right, 80.
I'm in a
You
big
didn't
open room
notice-
with no
Until
furniture.
another
I get
tax
no
season
echo at
ends
all.
and another year of penalties and interest are
What,
added to
you
your
didn't
balance.
notice, well,
If you
Heather
owe
and I
at
are
least
separated.
$10,000 to the IRS and need a new
So
start
I
on
moved
your
over
back
here in
taxes,
Tampa.
call
So Mike, that's the closet. They
1-800-266-1432. That's
nice enough to give me the old
1-800-266-1432.
phone.
Let the professionals at Coastal
so
One Financial
That's
Group
what I've done.
fight
I'll
to
take a
get you
picture.
the
I'll
new
show you
start
what I've
you
done.
deserve.
But I got
Again,
these
that's
phones.
1-800-266-1432.
Yeah, and it's good. It just depends on the vibration, the bounce back.
To get on the line, call
You have to hear
343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
Hey, that's us.
That is us. Hey, I'd like to thank a few folks.
Yep.
I'd like to thank Bob's Downtown Diner at the corner of Fat and Happy, which is North Jackson and St. Francis Street. Fine people there. Great food. Always a fun place to go to. And on Fridays, it's Red Shirt Friday. They do it every Friday. But now they usually have theme shirts they wear a lot on different days. But great place to go for breakfast and lunch. I had the French dip the other day.
Yeah, there you go. That's
And
always a classic.
and I've had the patty melt recently. I'm kind of going against my diet because I've
Yeah, that's way off. Is
Oh
what
yeah,
that is.
yeah.
And you know where else you can get both a patty melt and a fine French dip?
Where?
Butch Cassidy's Cafe in the heart of Flow-Shell.
How about that?
Yeah. So it's just they're not all about burgers, y'all.
That's
Although
right.
patty melt
They
is
do have. He does have great seafood there as well.
Mm-hmm. The shrimp is killer.
It is. Absolutely, it is. But that's there on Florida and at O'Shell Road, like Stu said, right in the middle of full O'Shell. And we want to thank Hall Sausage and Wholesale Meats. Fine folks there. They go out and ask for it. Look for it in the stores. Ask for it in the stores.
Demand it.
I got to stop at the Piggly Wiggly on University today, stock up on my Cajun smoke. So, but anyway,
Well, Mike, I went to a wedding yesterday. I
Okay.
closed down early because I was not going to miss my niece's wedding.
I don't blame you.
And you just saw a picture. She looked like a movie star. Didn't she?
She did.
Her father walking her down the aisle.
That's a great honor.
Yeah, and yesterday Ben posted on Facebook, today was the day and all of that, and I just put a little comment in it. I said, and you don't have to shoot it because he's a photographer as well, and I don't have to cater it.
It's enjoy it.
Yeah, so we got to go. We went. It's a venue called the Elizabeth. The Elizabeth down in Grand Bay was absolutely stunning. Just a nice big house, and behind it, one of the most incredible oak tree forests. Snarled oak trees.
Beautiful. Let me tell you, Grand Bay is loaded with some gorgeous oak trees
And
and farmland.
this is north of I-10.
Yeah,
It's off Old Pascagoula Road.
I know what you're talking about.
And then At some point, someone thought, I'm going to turn this into a wedding venue at least 20 years ago, because they had pine trees in the middle of the oak forest that were having to grow until they got outside of the oak trees before they could put out anything. So it's just the tall stems. And they were in a straight line so that it made a perfect little alleyway for the bride to walk out. So I can't think that was just happenstance. No. I got to think that someone years ago decided that's what that was going to be. But the staff was just on top of everything. They had a go-kart for the seniors that needed a little help getting to the front. And that everything was handled well. The food was good. My niece, I love her, made sure there were cheeseburgers on her reception.
Were they cheeseburgers or sliders like cheeseburgers?
They're sliders.
Oh,
yeah.
See, I like that.
Yeah, the slider is the perfect thing for a buffet style. The food was good. There was little cheesecakes and chocolate dipped strawberries and all of the usuals that were there. It was just a beautiful event. Now, Ruthie is very blessed in that her father is a renowned musician here in Mobile, Harper, and that her uncle, Stevie Harper, is a renowned musician on the Gulf Coast, and that her aunt, Mary Helen Harper, is a world-renowned cellist. Wow. So the music for this, was it Andrea Bonet, the flautist here in town that's in Methril, I believe that's her name, and she's in the symphony. She was here, another flautist, a violinist, and then Mary Helen played her niece's wedding cello. And Mary Helen she used to be in, I believe it was the Symphony of Madrid, Spain. She lived in Spain for a long time. Wow. She was in the, I mean, and Mary Helen's late grandfather.
I can hear them in my head right now.
Yeah. Or Ruthie's grandfather on that side of the family was Dr. Andrew Harper, who was over the music department at South Alabama for years. Oh, wow. And I love Dr. Harper. And I used to go to Spring Hill Presbyterian, which is their church, because Dr. Harper helped set up the church music program. And it's one of the best pipe organs in the South. Oh, wow, really? At Spring Hill Presbyterian. You don't see those. And when you have a pipe organ, you don't play modern gospel music from the 20th century. You play Bach. Yes. You play Baroque period. Yes. And there was a lot of Baroque music weaved into that. And I just loved it because it was like going to church in 1755.
Wouldn't it be horrible though, if the pipe organ Baroque?
If it's not Baroque.
Yeah. Oh man. You don't even get
I like that.
Before you go Chopin, you must first make a Chopin list. Yeah. If it's not Bach, if it's not Baroque, don't fix it. Mm-hmm. I'm going now, but I'll be Bach now.
But
music school joke.
At one time, they were hearing music coming out of Beethoven's gravesite.
He was,
but it was backwards. The music was coming out of his grave backwards. And somebody asked, "What's going on?" And they said, "He's decomposing."
I do have an actual Fernando story, an actual Beethoven story. But it was always said that he was deaf. Well, he was only deaf in 1 year for the first 40 years. He could hear just fine out of the other. Mm-hmm. Fernando Sohr, who was a composer at the time who principally wrote for classical guitar, an instrument that Beethoven loathed. Mm-hmm. Fernando Sohr goes over, says, "I want you to listen to my compositions. This instrument is valid as much as your piano." And he sat down and he played a couple of tunes for him, and Beethoven got mad and threw him out. And then a few months later, Beethoven came out with his new piece, Moonlight Sonata, which was Fernando Sohr's piece that he had just played for him on guitar. He stole it, plagiarized it. Fernando Sohr challenged him to a duel to the death. As the recipient of that challenge, you get to choose the time and the weapon. Beethoven chose tea and cakes at 4 o'clock.
So, we got a caller there, Steve?
Indeed. Shirley?
Shirley, how are you?
Hey, guys. How are y'all doing this morning?
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah,
I thought he said Shirley. Shirley is Charlie. Charlie, Shirley.
Shirley. Don't call me Shirley.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fine. I just wanted to let you know we're continuing our tour of restaurants on Old Shell Road. A couple of weeks ago, we went to the Big Bad Breakfast out next to the Dewdrop, and that was fine, although space was a little limited. But this morning, we're on Upham at Old Shell at the Toasted Yolk.
The new one, yeah.
Yeah, and let me tell you, if you want brunch with a Cajun twist, this is the place to come. They have breakfast, of course, but you know, you can get crawfish tails and all kind of stuff.
Nice.
Margaret's ordering chicken bites in beignet batter. And
Mike's drooling.
What I have now.
Mike's drooling.
Anyhow, yeah. Well, let me tell you, the menu is awesome. It's a little different.
Locally owned, by the way.
For something a little different, I'd recommend this place. They also have some unique coffee mugs, which I'm sure are for sale if you want them, but they say the toasted yolk on it. So,
cool.
The only complaint I have about Old Shell Road restaurants is that just like the Dewdrop, parking is very limited.
Yes, it is, and that
well, at least that'll change once the new wears off.
Yeah, well, I think so, and I think people are doing just like we are out here.
Well, you know, at least the Big Bad Breakfast, they got a big parking lot in the back, but they have residents upstairs, and people get a little testy about the parking. And then the two other local places, they don't like people parking their spot either. So
or parking at a business across the street.
Yeah. Well, I love Redbeard Outfitters, the outfitter there on that corner.
Right behind them.
So I'm going to go into Redbeard and do some shopping too, and I don't mind walking the block over there if I have to. But I'm also, you know, I'm going to patronize Redbeard if I'm using their parking lot.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, but at the same time, you guys need to come by and check this place out. It looks real promising.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Me too. I am. We are.
Thanks for letting me share my report.
All right, Charlie. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Long time listener, first time caller.
Hey, I got a few things today. It's National Blueberry Pie Day. Ooh. I love blueberry pie. I love blueberry anything. I want to try the new blueberry Jack Daniel, Crown Royal. There's a new one now, but anyway.
I can live without the flavored bourbons, but at the same time, if you give me a glass, I can. I'll try it. Yeah. I'll never say no.
And what a great restaurateur. This guy is incredible. Got a great sense of humor, very talented. All his kids are very talented musically, and they're all a bunch of funny guys. Rick Gambino. Today is Rick Gambino's birthday.
Happy birthday, Rick.
Rick, man, he's such a fun guy to be talked to, and he still acts like he's in his 30s or 40s, and just a great family all together. But Rick, happy birthday, buddy. Hope you have a great day. I'm sure your family's going to make sure you do, and your granddaughter.
And this just in, breaking news. The 2024 SEC Men's Golf Champions, your Auburn Tigers.
Or Eagle. Hey, when we come back, we're going to have that guy from Auburn on the show, Reese Dimukes.
College football season never ends.
Yes, our first match yesterday was against Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
Reese, are you there?
Quarters.
Yes, sir.
All right. We appreciate you calling in. Just a couple of quick little ground rules, as they say. We feed the audio down the phone line, so you don't have to worry about having any outside, radio or anything that causes a feedback. The other thing is when we wrap up the segment, if they haven't already, generally you'll hear music. That means that they've got to wrap things up. So if you go that long, but other than that, we'll be back in here in about a minute and a half.
Okay, sounds great.
Buy the cars or trucks they want and helps them find financing that works best for them. That's why LCM clients keep coming back to buy their cars. See the current inventory at LCMmotorcars.com. What's on the lot? See them personally in theater.
Really just get beat by Cal College.
You have to wear your clothes. You toss them in the washing machine, right? Nobody wants to wear dirty
Always
clothes.
been number one.
You don't throw your shoes in the washing machine when they get dirty.
God, I watched a little last night. I watched a little bit of the Alabama and Tennessee softball. I like women's softball. Women's softball is a lot more exciting than
Maddie Pinta is one hell of a pitcher. You see Friday night, she had 18 strikeouts.
Yeah. I was wanting to find it yesterday.
11 hits. And it'll save you tons of dough. I love that. Plus, machine washing is the whole family. men, women, and kids. So when your
And
kids give you a
Auburn's
shoe
ready to
30,
go with their
and
softball
we know they
football
will,
season.
just watch them.
We lost
Brilliant.
3
And even our
All-Americans
latest
to
technology,
Arkansas
new
last year.
anti stretches
because
slip-ins are washable.
apparently
You just step right in and
doesn't
go without
get
bending down
your
or even
coaching
touching your
girls
shoes. So give your
and
Skechers the
things
same
like
treatment
they
you
were
give
in
your clothes. Just toss them in the washing machine
There's
and
been a
keep
lot
them
of
looking
complaints.
brand
We lost
spanking
3
new.
All-Americans
Find Machine
to
Washable
schools
Skechers
that
at a
transfer
Skechers
portal.
store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear happens to be sold.
Join the
And
team
the
of
Under
Lady
Armour
Lloyds and
thing.
find jewelry currently
Well,
looking to
still
fill
right,
2
doing
positions, a full-time
Softball,
counter
baseball
sales
players
associate
been the
and a
number one
full
people
or part-time
complaining
vintage
about
jeweler.
Under Armour.
Contact Ron at Mobile Bay Coins
And
today,
after they play a game, then,
251-725-4590.
they have to ice it. Well, I
Hey,
don't.
friends, this is Reed Burton.
Like me and a
Southern
Spotsville
Fairway Sports
contract.
Radio Show.
I couldn't walk
Presented
today.
by
I
McConnell
went to
Automotive.
Spotsville Police.
We're
I quit
the
wearing
newest and
that
freshest
thing.
sports show
I
on
couldn't
the
walk.
radio. We're going to talk football, baseball, basketball, golf, any sport that uses a ball, we'll talk about it. Also, you know we love to hunt and fish, so
You wanna
we'll be
ask me some
talking with
questions
guests
after, you
about
know,
that
like
as
that
well.
cover this
Southern
out.
Fairway
You got-
Sports Radio. Join
I'll
me
let
and
you
the
handle
gang
it, bro.
every Saturday morning
Well,
beginning at 10
no, I'm
a.m.
talking about
right
the
here
sport
on
question.
FM Talk.
Oh,
Auburn
we would
football.
get it.
To get on the line, call 343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
All right, Stu,
Yes, sir.
we have a guest on the show.
We
and,
do.
And we got Reese Dimukes, and he's here to talk about the Gulf Coast Barbecue Championship.
Former starting center from your Auburn Tigers.
And this is an Auburn.
Yeah, we are the Auburn
Auburn
affiliate.
family,
For those-
yeah.
Reese knows this because Reese, you played at Spanish Fort, didn't you, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Oh, listen to that, Reese. Best game day atmosphere in America. Am I wrong, buddy?
No, you got that right.
All right. Well, Reese, we want to thank you for coming on the show this morning. And you know, I saw this on Facebook, and I think I reached out to you or them, the group, and said, "Man, I want to go to this thing. I want to go see what it's all about." So, why don't you tell me what we're talking about? Tell our audience what you're talking about, what we're talking about.
Well, I just want to thank y'all for having me. Yeah, we and thank you for reaching out. Like we have the Gulf Coast Barbecue Championship next weekend, next Saturday from 11 to 3 at the Battleship, and it's you know our it's presented by Clear Path Restoration. They're title sponsor, and obviously you know we couldn't do it without those guys. But we Rob Milam, who is the trainer at Spanish Fort, he is the president of Jamie's Joy. And then me and a few of my guy friends started the 50 Foundation back in 2018, and we raised money for epilepsy and other organizations that foster and enable the betterment of our society's youth. And we partner with Jamie's Joy, an HPV awareness foundation, and we put on a cook-off to raise money for each of our foundations. So it'll be a festival style event. There'll be live music. There'll be activities for kids. And then actually the Alabama Epilepsy Foundation is having a walk to end epilepsy Saturday morning at the Battleship as well, that people can pay, I believe it's like $20. They can come out and do that as well. So it's really just a fun day of just raising money for two causes that we greatly admire.
Cool. Well, that's fantastic, Reese. You certainly are exemplifying the creed with your efforts, my man.
Yeah, we're in years past we've done a crawfish cook-off, the mud bug showdown, but we crawfish prices this year through the roof. And,
Yeah.
we couldn't, the logistics and the cost and everything didn't make sense. So we transitioned to barbecue, and we actually got our competition sanctioned by the Kansas City Barbecue Society. So
Nice.
and that's for those that don't know, that's like the Sprint Cup of barbecue.
Hey, Reese, let me tell you, I have a 2013 medal, People's Choice medal, for my barbecue sauce from the Kansas City Barbecue Society.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Root beer barbecue sauce.
It was a root beer barbecue sauce, and I still make it. So, but it's got a Kansas City medal.
Yeah.
Just looks like a big old medal, like an Olympic medal. Not a cheap old thing.
It's, this whole barbecue world, I'm sure you're obviously you're familiar with it. It's a whole nother animal. So hopefully, we have a good turnout. We got 10 teams competing, and
that's great.
To, have people come out. We got Meredith Hicks band. She's a local artist. She'll be performing, and like I said, there'll be face painting and balloons and jumpies for the kids to play around on, and the weather's looking good, so hopefully that holds up.
Yeah, and that park there at Battleship Park is just a great park for anything like this. Plus, you're surrounded by the history, and you've also, if you're a nature person, at the back end of the park, they've got a nature trail that takes you out to an observation tower in a swamp so that you can bird watch. And it's just a great park.
I want a gator watch.
Everywhere you are on the causeways, a gator watch.
Yeah, I see them every now and then walking across the causeway.
You learn something new every day. I didn't know about bird watching, but my girlfriend will definitely love to.
Yeah, it's a great little site, man. And you can see downtown Mobile from one side, and then you look out the other, and you see across this little grass savanna on out to the bay. And it's a nice little. They've done a great job with the construction. And here I am, selling the Alabama State Park system.
I have a question for you, Reese. This is the producer of the show. Just a quick question. Are you doing any of the barbecue yourself as well, contributing, or are you a team or judging, or what?
No, I'm the contest organizer. So I next year I would like to maybe cook in it, but I don't think I'll have time. Usually at these events I'm running around with my head's cut off. Unfortunately, I will not be participating. But we have, I believe, my dad and a few of his friends will be cooking in it, and we got a few more local people that have cooked in our contest before. I think we have a good mix. I think it's probably 60% people who've never competed in a KCBS event. So I think that'll be good. So it's I think it's gonna be we're hoping for a great turnout
and great weather. I hope it's great weather for y'all as well. But
what is your favorite?
Down a little bit by then.
What is your favorite cut to barbecue or to eat? Is it brisket? Is it ribs? You a pulled pork guy? You like the chicken thighs? Where you go with that, Reese?
Oh, I'd say I'm probably a.
Have you seen Reese? He likes it all.
Hey man, us sinners like the meat.
My mom and dad fed me well, but I actually just got done working out, walking on the treadmill, trying to get ready for it. But no, it's I mean, brisket when it's done right is hard to beat, but there's nothing wrong with pulled pork and
ribs,
some good chicken and ribs. I mean, the coleslaw, and I'm more of a vinegar-based guy. My granny
really?
The sauce that she makes, and that I make sometimes with her, and I actually hand it out to clients around town. And have a few people that just absolutely love it. So,
I love vinegar slaw. I do.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you, in Auburn, were you at Byron's or were you driving to Opelika to get Chuck's?
I was I used to go to the barbecue house. Barbecue house before, but mainly barbecue house. I used to get breakfast there mostly, and then Byron's as well. But I think Mike's, there was a barbecue restaurant right by the railroad tracks that I used to go. That wasn't Byron's. That I used to eat at quite a bit.
Yeah, I discovered Chuck's in Opelika 2005. Was dating a girl that lived in Gainesville, and we met in LaGrange, or Lagrange as she called it. But I stopped at Chuck's on the way up, and on game days they had, back then it was $1 pulled pork sandwiches. So I went in and got 10 of them. Waited in line for like 20 minutes. So everybody's getting the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's a mustard-based sauce, just phenomenal. And I was like, yeah, I like that. And it turns out that area has its own barbecue style. called the Big Pigsty. It's there in LaGrange, Auburn, Columbus, where it's just a small part of the butt called the CT butt. It's just that really tender piece cooked at a high heat with a mustard sauce. It's just terrific. We could talk barbecue and Auburn football all day. We're here about you. So if people want to find out about this event, where can they go?
They can go on Facebook, and they can look up the Gulf Coast Barbecue Championship. They can find it there. We got a link to purchase tickets there, and if anybody's got any questions, they can just reach out there, and we just look forward to. We will be, selling tickets at the door if you don't want to buy them online. The Battleship will be charging for parking, so try to. Group your, I think it's $5 a car, so make sure you ride with your friends.
All right. And in case you missed it, being on the treadmill, we just won the SEC in golf today about half an hour ago.
That's awesome. Yeah, I heard that on the show when y'all were coming off the last segment. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean Auburn golf is they're great. I mean, hopefully the football team can follow suit this year.
Yeah, making another run with basketball. It's a great time to be an Auburn Tiger right now. But poor Reese missed having a bass fishing team when he was at Auburn.
Oh,
we're defending national champions bass fishing team, Reese. We don't talk about that enough. We need a banner up there. We need a statue of a largemouth bass outside Jordan Hare.
Yeah, I mean, I mean that'd be great. I mean it's crazy all the stuff that goes on you don't really hear about. But, yeah. I mean Auburn's a great place, and
it's a beautiful campus.
Getting back,
Every time, Reese, when I used to go to Atlanta a lot, and when I was in the wine business, I always stopped either going to Atlanta or back, and I'd just sit there and look at the Eagles.
Yeah.
I would sit there for an hour looking at the Eagles in the big housing out front of the stadium, and I go, "This is just beautiful."
Man, until they've seen that eagle soar over the field, they just don't know what it's like, do they, buddy?
No, I mean that's it's pretty special. I got chill bumps right now just thinking.
Yeah, well, now y'all say that. Describe your first time in that stadium on the field as a player and what that was like.
Ooh, I guess in a game day it would have been Utah State. Man, I was a yuppie at that point in time. I mean, it was hot. It was hot, but it was electric.
Yeah.
I mean, football in early September and August, and I think Auburn might be one of the hottest places in America. But
there's no shade in that stadium.
It was very special. No, I mean, you just put on that AU, and you did everything to honor those that came before you, and and Coach told me, Coach Grimes, my freshman year, he said, look, when you get done playing football, what are they going to say about you, in 20, 30 years when you come back to a reunion? Because there ain't going to be no hiding then. So, I had a few goals, and was fortunate enough to be surrounded by some great teammates, and
awesome.
We were able to have some good years and some bad years, and I'll cherish those for forever.
I bet, man. I bet.
All right, Reese, we want to thank you for being on today, buddy. We're up against the break. Good luck with your festival next week, and War Eagle, my friend.
War Dam, and thank y'all for having me on, and hope to see you guys next weekend.
Reese, I'll see you next week. Thank you, buddy.
251-343-0106 if you want to get in on the conversation. When we come back, we need to remind this calendar.
There are many adults in Alabama who cannot take care of themselves. Some of them need foster homes. The Alabama Department of Human Resources has a critical need for caring men and women to provide safe and supportive homes for vulnerable adults. Make a difference in someone's life. Be an adult foster care provider
Endeavor
because
from
love never
Mississippi
ages.
State.
For more information,
Oh,
visit
she's from
dhr.alabama.gov/AFC,
up being an
sponsored by
Alabama
the
fan.
Alabama Department of
She
Human
was kid,
Resources,
right?
the Alabama Broadcasters Association,
Cool.
and this station.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Advertising. It's how you encourage people to buy your products, services, or ideas. Imagine being handed a microphone to speak in front of a stadium of 30,000 people. What would you say about your business? FM Talk 1065 will put you in front of that audience. This is Select Talent. Together, we can create an effective advertising campaign. Our listeners are eager for information, trust our station, and prefer to patronize local businesses like yours. Call me at 445-7249, and let's talk about how FM Talk 1065 can help increase your business.
Hello again, friends. I'm Randy Bergen, inviting you to join me, Coach Rick Cleveland, and Coach Mark Lassiter for the Thompson Tractors Prep Sports Report. We'll be coming to you live from the Eastern Shore Toyota Hyundai Studios for 2 hours beginning at 8 a.m. every Saturday morning. We'll visit with coaches, athletes, administrators, and more. We'll keep you up to date on all things prep along the Gulf Coast and the state of Alabama. Wake up with the Prep Sports Report.
I've heard it. I've heard it all story.
On FM Talk 1065.
So clear and
To get on
perfect.
the line, call 343-0106. Now back to
Hey, by the way, that number is the Callahan's Irish Social Club call and texting line. But we got some other people to thank. I want to thank Bob's Downtown down there on the corner of Fat and Happy, which is North Jackson and St. Francis Street. Great food, great place. You could probably go listen to Marcus Elizondo right now playing out on the sidewalk. And it's probably a beautiful day to be sitting out there eating today. We also want to thank Roy at Butch Cassidy's and the fine folks over there at Butch Cassidy in the Heart of Flow show. Roy, by the way, is a War Eagle guy, and he wears it proudly. And then we want to thank Hall Sausage and Wholesale Meats. Going to get some right after the show. Got to go to Pig the Wiggle on University Boulevard and get me some of that Hall's Cajun smoked sausage, because my breakfast is not complete without it, or my stewed cabbage or anything else I cook at night or during the day. So anyway, that was a great interview. I'm glad to hear Reese. We were 50 Funny Fellows together, which I'm not anymore, but it was a great interview. And I think they're going to do real well next week. I think it's going to be a fun event. So what's going on in your world, Stu?
Oh, you know, a little this, a little that.
Mm-hmm.
And just racking up all these SEC championships. Let's talk about this real quick.
Okay.
I won the SEC in football, made Final Four in basketball. That's a great year for Alabama or any school, right? Auburn won basketball or bass fishing national championship, women's golf national championship.
I didn't even know there was college bass fishing.
It is not NCAA sanctioned. It's sanctioned by
it's like a club.
Oh no. Well, they are clubs, but they're full sponsors. They got full NIL. I think Bass Pro Shops.
Do they throw the fish back?
Yeah, they have to. Yeah, it's catch and release. All tournaments are catch and release.
Okay.
Otherwise, you decimate the population of a lake in one weekend with 130 professional bass fishermen.
Yeah.
They used to be, the old Bassmaster Classic was you had to bring them in and get them weighed there. And that killed so many fish. Now, if they come in and they're dead, they penalize you. You got to keep them alive in your live well so they can return. So 2 national championships in the summer. Then Auburn with the basketball SEC tournament championship. Now we've added men's golf SEC title, and now both individual and team golf. Both schools have had really good years.
Yeah.
Really good years. And I hate this narrative that if you didn't win the national championship, the season was wasted.
No.
If that is your attitude, go watch pros.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. College sports is not about the fan. The schools don't owe you or me anything.
Yeah.
These students do not owe the schools anything. The schools owe them. And for 40 years, they got away with robbing the students.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're having to give them their fair share.
Right. Especially name, image, and likeness.
Yeah, which was just, and like the Supreme Court said, that rule was never legal.
Yeah.
We had to have someone bring it to us to strike it down. That rule should have never existed, and everyone that was a partner to that rule, NCAA, coaches, administration, you all collectively violated the civil rights of several 100,000 American citizens. Yeah. And they've cleaned that up. And the other thing with the transfer portal, they're going to shut that down. These kids can't just transfer every year if they want to. Why not? Every other college student is allowed to. Mm-hmm. They're students first. The fans aren't owed anything.
Yeah.
If the portal messes up your enjoyment of the game, go watch the pros.
Right.
These kids should not be bound in a contract to a university that doesn't care a rat's patootie about them once their eligibility is used.
That's right. Another thing about Auburn I like to mention, they have a great hospitality and culinary program. And they have a few restaurants up there near Tubas Corner, don't they? That's an Italian restaurant that's a student.
Oh, Aricia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of the Auburn Hotel. Mm-hmm. Sarah Lubitz, I think. Oh, no, she was at Anchor, maybe. No, I think she was at Aricia. Mm-hmm. And which for a day, she didn't get to be there for a full-on game situation. Mm-hmm. She was there for an A day.
Our friend John Gibson is.
Yep. Yeah, he's taking on a full-time position there.
That's awesome. And awesome for him.
And when he gets a break, we'll have him back on to find out what that year was like providing food. And you know, his company doesn't just handle Auburn. They handle Bryant-Denny Stadium. I'm sorry, Bryant-Denny Tuberville Stadium. They handle Tennessee, I believe, Florida State. I mean, they handle a lot of the big things. Doing this food service for football, basketball, other sports. I left out equestrian SEC championship.
Well, I thought about that. But I've dealt with them in the wine business before up at
Aricia, or just the Auburn campus.
It may have been a different name for a different restaurant up there, but it was just world class Italian thing.
Yeah. And Anchor is a modern contemporary Southern thing that is James Beard level in Auburn. They've been nominated for Best Restaurant in the South James Beard Award multiple times. Yeah. So the restaurant scene in Auburn is phenomenal. Let's talk about the fast casual dining chains that all got their start there. Mama Goldberg's, Guthrie's Chicken, which was the very first chicken finger restaurant. Everyone else came after Guthrie's. Chicken Salad Chicks.
There you go.
I believe Taco Mama started in Auburn.
May have.
Yeah, it would shock you. It's a great testing ground for that kind of concept.
Right.
So a lot of them have launched from there. It's really, for such a small town.
I knew Chicken Salad Chicks.
Yeah, I think Taco Mama started there as well. And then, of course, you got in that same vein, but not Auburn affiliated, is Moe's Barbecue, which was started by 3 Alabama graduates who moved to Colorado and couldn't find real barbecue. Colorado. Yeah. You could put a little South in your mouth.
Yeah, that's it. But I was just impressed when I was still up with Auburn up there with wine and stuff like that. What they did with their hospitality and they've got it down. I believe they got it in Gulf Shores, Orange Beach area too. They have a course down there, I believe.
Yeah, I think so too. It's jointly with, what is it, Gulf Coast?
I don't know if it's through them or not. Maybe.
What did they
Coastal
rename?
College.
Yeah, that they renamed the hybrid of Faulkner State and
Coastal College.
Yeah.
Not 100% sure on that, but I know that Auburn was doing some things down there.
Yeah, and then of course Auburn is very important to industry in this state from a marine biology aspect of keeping the bay clean. So like they're one of the partners at the estuary.
And just the our farming.
Yeah.
Agriculture.
Yeah. Gotta eat.
Gotta eat.
Gotta eat. You know, so
gotta make them cows taste tasty.
Yeah, I remember in high school growing up with one of the tanners that the Tanner Williams area is named after. And, you know, we did the ubiquitous what did you do for summer vacation thing. And he got up and talked about, we went to Chicago, Illinois, and we saw the world's largest cattle livestock auction. Oh. And all he talked about was the farm stuff that they looked at. And I went and talked to my dad. I went, what a rube. And he goes, son, do you not realize he's going to feed half the country in a few years?
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up getting a scholarship from, I believe, President Reagan that put him through a full ride at Auburn to learn farm management sciences, which is how you learn how to operate 27,000 acres efficiently.
Right.
And
right.
With a crew of 12 people.
Right.
And feed, 250,000 people off your property.
Wow.
The biggest part of it's the budget and how you get any kind of stipends from the government on that too, I promise you.
Absolutely.
Right. Right. And how to work with USDA, which is who you're going to deal with most of the time.
All right. Well, we had a great show today. Thank you folks for listening.
Helping some people.
So I hope you enjoyed our new intro.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I wasn't expecting that, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
There's more to come.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah. More to come.
Yeah.
So get out there, support local, be local, buy local.
Shop local.
Go to Stu's place. Go to the
I'll be there till about 4:30 today if y'all want to stop by.
There you go.
Little dining out. Put up a canopy in the courtyard yesterday. We had the nice little I don't know what you call them, the tarp tent things that were hanging up there. We had that huge windstorm, just ripped them off. So now we got a new canopy out there.
Awesome.
But when you come by, just say, hey, Stu, provolone.